What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hopin' and Copin'. I know that a lot of people probably go through many different emotions. Let me just start this off by saying, depression, bipolar, all of it, anxiety, ADHD, everything freaking sucks. To the point where it's a constant battle, and sometimes the battle feels like it's taking over and it's hard to control or manage, and a lot of people don't like the fact that they don't want to take medication. I mean, I was one of those people who fought against taking medication for a really long time, and till I came to the acceptance of knowing that, hey, my brain is just unbalanced, and to balance it out and to at least make me feel somewhat sane, to take medication. It sucks when it's an everyday battle, everyday battle, I was going to say every year. Because every year it's a new thing, it's a new change, it's a new everything, and it sucks when you're in a real bad depression and you know exactly what to do to get out of it, but yet you don't have the energy, or your anxiety shows up and telling you otherwise, that it's not going to get better. I do recommend that if you are, prescribed, psych meds, that you should probably take them. They may contribute to you feeling at least somewhat better. I know whenever I go into, my episodes, I feel so chaotic, and not on the outside, not surrounded chaotic. I feel chaotic inside in my brain. It won't shut up. It goes on and on and on about many different things, such as telling me, not capable of being loved, or not capable of actually loving. That has been like the biggest thing for me, is thinking that I'm not able to love, which kind of sucks. I know that that's not true. I do. But, that's just the things that, my mental health shows up as a disguise of that I'm not loved or capable of being loved. And if you're going through this right now and hearing my podcast, I know it's cheesy, but hold on, things will get better. It's just the never ending, well, I can't say never ending, but the cycle that you're going through right now it will end. The things that you need to figure out for yourself, of either how to end it sooner, or be able to cope and manage while you're still in your cycle of depression or anxiety or, anger, whatever it is that you feel. I really hope that you find, the coping skills that you need to work through it. If you don't have a therapist, that's something that you may want to consider. A lot of things I was against. I was against medication. I was against getting a therapist, me being in recovery, sponsorship. I always say to myself, which is an easy cop-out about sponsorship, is I just don't have commitment issues, or I do have commitment issues, which that's a bunch of phony. That's just telling myself, a easy cop out of, you don't have to worry about trying. And I do have a sponsor. I have a sponsor of my understanding who is there for me for the way that I need her to be. So, I guess that is like you finding your own life coach, someone that you can depend on to help bring you back up when you're down, or talk to you when you have your crazy moments. And when I use crazy, I'm not meaning it in a disrespectful way. I call my moments crazy, up and down. Yeah, so don't overwhelm yourself and think about, mental health as this crazy, psychotic, can't be controlled, no one understands type of thing, because there are people who understand. That's what our mental health tells us, is that there is no one who understands. And yes, we're going to continue to have these up and down battles. We're going to have our good days, and we're going to have our bad days. We're going to have good months, and we're going to have bad months. Like I said, finding a life coach or someone that you can, talk to and help you get a better understanding, or even talk you off the ledge. And I'm not saying like the ledge like you're actually gonna jump off. I'm talking about the ledge to the non-existing ledge that, we tend to say that we're on. We are human, and we do deserve to have a right to be able to pick ourselves back up. We don't have to let it control us. We don't have to let it take over. We just have to find ways to cope. I went to this conference and I heard this therapist share, which, completely inspired me. She's a trauma therapist. She said that we should get a box, and in this box we can either call it caress or care. Some people who are sexual victims, they might not want to use the word caress, but cares, you can use cares, because we care for ourselves, and that's the biggest thing, is we need to learn how to care for ourselves. Is make this box up, decorate it, make it beautiful, make it our own. And inside this box, put our coping skills in there. If it's a soft blanket that, helps soothe you, put that in there. If it's smell good candles or body sprays or whatever that, you really enjoy, put in there. A list of music, coloring books, drawing paper, colored pencils, whatever it is. If you're into the art therapeutic thing, then, put that in the box as well. Put a picture of a loved one that brings you back to light. Anything that you pretty much see, put in this box, because that is your coping skill. So instead of being in the moment, because what happens when we're in that moment, it's fight or flight. And sometimes we flight. We don't have the ability in us to fight, and that's okay in the moment. And when we're in that moment of fight or flight, we're not thinking about our coping skills, or trying to even gather our coping skills can be overwhelming. So train yourself to go to your box, your caress or cares box, whatever one you want to call it. And there everything is, so that way you can just pull it all out and have all your coping skills right then and there, instead of trying to gather and scrounge up some coping skills. So I thought that was really cool, and I just like sharing it with people. When you're in moments like that, find love within yourself is one thing I would recommend. I mean, that's a never-ending battle as well. Is, 1 minute you can completely love yourself, and the next minute you can completely tear yourself apart. But, what I tend to do for myself is, when I'm in a good mood, I completely just love on myself, and then when I'm not in a good mood, I don't, and I need to practice it, no matter what, and continue to keep trying to love myself and appreciate myself, because, I'm the only one initially who can pick myself back up when I am down. So, it's one thing that you can do as well, is try and figure out love for yourself. And, I know whenever I get down, it's because I'm picking the outside apart, but not even tuning into the inside. My inside can be very beautiful. I have a genuine heart. I'm a good friend. I'm a good, mom. I love deeply. You know, I have an amazing personality. My sense of humor is awesome. Can be dark, but it's awesome. You know, and it's not letting, you know, the bad or evil, because I notice that every time I try and pick someone else apart, I find myself being picked apart because I'm just pointing out what I don't like about myself about someone else, or I'm just trying to make myself feel better, which tends to make me feel crappier. Anyways, I hope this is something that can be very helpful for you. Stay tuned for more.